Hello everyone and welcome back to Learn with Sam and Ash. I'm Sam and today we're gonna start something new, which is German for beginners. In these sessions, the coming session, and in this session itself, we'll introduce the language and teach you how to speak the basic sentences. This will be around 15 days classes, and trust me, after 15 days, you'll be able to talk to your friends or show off how you can speak in German, right? Let's get started then. Now, if you look here, we have something called German for beginners, right? And these are the most extensive sessions in India. Why am I telling you these are most extensive? Because we provide you everything from basic to advanced, all right? We'll start from the fundamental itself. That's why we call it for beginner, but don't worry about it. So let's get started. This is session 1. In session 1, we'll understand what is German. And from now, we're not going to call it German. We're going to call it Deutsch. Now think about it. What do we call English? Do we call it English in our mother tongue? In Hindi, let's say, if it is a mother tongue? No, we call it Angrezi. Same way, Germans don't call it German. They call it Deutsch. So from now, we are not learning German. We are learning Deutsch. Wonderful. And it is spoken as an official language in these many countries: Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, Austria, Liechtenstein, and Luxembourg. So we were earlier thinking that, okay, it's only spoken in Germany. No, it's in these 6 countries. It is spoken as the official language, and hence they have 97 million native speakers. Moreover, these countries are very famous, like I told you, and they are highly developed countries, and they are technologically advanced. So if you know the language, you have great opportunities in future. Apart from that, why a new language? So you might be watching this video, or you might be learning a new language for the first time. So you must be thinking, why should I learn German? There are 3 main reasons for that, and they are new opportunities, cultural openness, and they say that if you know 2 languages, that means if you are bilingual. Okay, bilingual in the sense you know 2 languages. They say that a person who knows 2 languages is really considered smart. So that's a good thing. New opportunities in the sense of about jobs, and cultural openness. That means you know about their culture, and hence it's easier for you to accept them. We become open-minded in a way. Now, there are 6 levels like in every other language in Europe. That is A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. We'll be starting with A1 itself. That is very fundamental, I would say. C1 and C2 is a little bit advanced level. And for these levels, we're not gonna go for videos because they are way too advanced. Firstly, we might do it in the future, but not for now. The reason for that is you might not need it in India initially. If you need it later, we'll add it later. For now, we focus on these 4 levels initially, A1 till B2. And this is more than enough for most of the purposes. Even for visa purposes, done. B2, enough. So this is called German for beginners. And first of all, why did I start these fundamental classes? Why did I start for beginners itself? Because if you love the language, only then you can know the language, and only then you can learn the language. Without liking the language, you will not try to attempt it. You will not try to enjoy the language. Hence, in order to make sure that you are enjoying it, we have 15 days basic classes. That is just based on presentation, short and precise. So if you're enjoying these sessions, we can continue with it. If you're not, you can switch to another language. That's why these classes are free, and everything will be provided in these sessions, right? Great. And if you want certification, you can go for Goethe Institute. You can write a test and you can get international certification for any level you want. That is A1, A2. After you go through these sessions, you can write the test itself. All right, so today's session is called Greetings and Introducing Yourself. This is our theme today. But in German, it's called Begrüßungen und sich vorstellen. Now, do not worry about the pronunciation for now. This is just beginning. So you're understanding what is the topic for today. There are 2 things, in fact. Begrüßungen und sich vorstellen. Where sich vorstellen means to introduce yourself, and Begrüßungen means greetings, right? So don't worry about the pronunciation. Like I said, forget about it. Remember, we are going to talk about greetings and how to introduce yourself. Okay, so first one, when we think about introduction, what comes to your mind? Of course, hello. And in German, it's called hallo. So it's not hello, it's hallo. Right. It's very simple, right? You just change E to A and becomes hallo. It is also called Guten Tag. don't worry about the pronunciation for now, or in fact, don't even worry about the spelling. Just understand hello can be said in two ways, hallo and guten Tag. Nice. How are you? Now, in order to understand how are you, we have to understand certain things in German. And those are something called formal and informal. Germans are very particular about their tone, and hence they have two ways of speaking. That is style of speaking, right? And they are formal and informal. Let me explain what are these two things. The first one is formal tone. And we use it when we want to interact with a person who is older than you or a person who you do not know. Right. So if let's say you're going to a professor who you met for the first time, formal tone. And of course, he is older than you, then again, formal. You're going to a library for the first time. You do not know the person, formal. You're going to an authority, higher, that means post, formal again. But informal tone can be used with friends, family, relatives, etc. So these are the two things. There will be a lot of changes in words and everything if informal and formal is kept in mind. Great. Now, so let's have a look at what is how are you in informal and formal tone. The first one is formal. Wie geht es Ihnen? That is our first one. That is formal. Please don't worry. I'll explain everything. But it is called Wie geht es Ihnen. This is the pronunciation for the formal one. Informal is shorter and sweeter. Wie geht's? Simple. Wie geht's? Let's try to decode this. Decode in the sense, try to understand how these sentences are formed. So let's have a look at the first one, which is formal one. If you remember, this was the formal version of how are you in German. And here we have mentioned how, that means wie is how, geht is goes, es is it, and Ihnen is with you or only you. So again, wie is how. Geht is goes. I have written goes here because it fits here. Generally, it means to go. To go. And as is it. And Ihnen is with you or you. Which is third person in a way. So, wie geht es Ihnen literally means how goes it with you. Right? So, you can translate it to how are you. Right. The shortened, the answer would be I'm fine. And in German, we call it mir geht es gut. By the way, I forgot one thing. So the shorter version for how are you was wie geht's. This geht's part was a shorter version of geht and es, and hence we form as geht's. So we say in short, right? How's you in German? In English we say. So in German we can say wie geht's. Now about reply, we can say I'm fine, and I am fine is written informal way is mir geht es gut, danke. Mir geht es gut, danke. Informal way is just gut. I think by now you already can figure it out. What is this gut? And don't worry, I'll explain that. So let's decode the second sentence as well. That is the reply. When you say how are you, you say I am fine. So the sentence is mir geht es gut, danke. So here mir means me or with or to me. So generally it's me. There are many times of I and me in German. We'll see it later in the person pronoun classes. But here for understanding, mir is me. Geht is goes. Again, the same one which we have seen. Es is it. I think by now you will remember this. Gut is good. Right? And finally, danke is thank you. So me goes it good, thank you. In a way, we are saying it's fine with me, thank you. Or you can say I'm fine. This is mir geht es gut, danke. This is formal. Remember that if you're talking in an informal situation, you don't have to speak that much in German. If you're talking to your friend, if they ask you, wie geht's? You don't need to say mir geht es gut. You will say simply gut. So which we saw it earlier, that is gut. You're not going to say mir geht es gut and all those things. Just gut is enough. For informal tone, it's enough. Okay. So we're not going to look at I'm feeling bad or all such answers because that goes a little bit advanced. So I'm just giving you one answer. I'm fine. Now, like I said earlier, let's decode hello. Hello is informal. It's called guten Tag. That is formal, not informal. And informal, which is called hallo. So depending on who you talk to, if you're talking to a person who you do not know or older than you or an authority, you say guten Tag when you meet them. If it is a friend, you just say hello, simply to talking to someone for the first time. Now, we do not always use hello, right? When we meet someone, we also talk to them regarding, or let's say based on time. So if it is morning, we say good morning, isn't it? So for that as well, we have in German certain things. Instead of good morning in German, it's called Guten Morgen. It must be easy for you to understand morning, because see, morning becomes Morgen. Look here. And good was, we have seen in previous, it's gut. But we add en here as a conjugation. Now, what is conjugation? Later we're gonna see, right? So Guten Morgen is the word for good morning. So next time if you're opening the video, if it is morning you're watching it, just say it so that you understand it or you remember it. Guten Morgen. Second one is good afternoon. There is nothing such thing as good afternoon. So they say use the same thing they used in hello, which is Guten Tag. So morning is till 12 o'clock in the noon, and afternoon stays till 5 p.m. Till 5 p.m. you don't have to say anything apart from Guten Tag, right? But as it becomes evening, after 5 o'clock, 5 p.m., you can say Guten Abend, right? Instead of Guten Tag or Guten Morgen, you say Guten Abend, right? Simple. Guten Morgen, Guten Tag, Guten Abend. Three things, that is morning, afternoon, and evening. Finally comes good night. So good night is a bit different. So remember the trick here. At night, you don't have to add an here. So it's Gute Nacht. Again, Gute Nacht. The reason for that is night is considered feminine and others are considered masculine or neutral. And the reason why they consider it, we'll see later. And also, why do we have E here instead of EN? Like I said, it's based on genders. They change the ending because of that. But remember, everything else apart from night, we add EN on the end of gut, that is Guten. In the case of night, we do not do that. We just add E, becomes Gute Nacht. Let me repeat and repeat after me as well. Gute Nacht. Okay, Gute Nacht. Nice. Now, when you meet someone for the first time, you can ask for their name and you can also tell your name, right? So we're going to have that conversation as well. So maybe you open your book and start writing some sentences. You can show off in front of your friends or family that I know some German. Look at this. So asking for name, there are two ways again, the formal and informal. Let's have a look at the formal one. Wie heißen Sie? Wie heißen Sie is the formal version, first version. Second one is Wie ist Ihr Name? Again, let me repeat and repeat after me. Wie heißen Sie? Wie heißen Sie is the first one. Wie ist Ihr Name? Wie ist Ihr Name? That's the second version. Let's decode all of them. The first one, Wie heißen Sie? And wie is how. Well, it is what in our case, in our situation, but literally it means how, okay? Heißen is to be called. Germans do not say, what is your name? They say, what are you called? Or how are you called? That's why we have wie here, right? How are you called is Wie heißen Sie. Now you understand why heißen. Why not saying directly is, right? And finally, Sie is a formal you. Formal version of you is called Sie. So Wie heißen Sie. If you want to ask someone their name, I hope you're enjoying these German sessions already. You're learning how to ask for name already. Good. Another one was simpler. You can say the word Name here. It's a parent Name means name. Wie, again, how, and in this case, what. Ist is. Ihr is your, not you, your. So Wie ist Ihr Name means how is your name or what is your name. Literally wie means how, but in this situation we are taking it as what. That's how German is spoken. We cannot literally translate any language to another language. Remember what's going to happen if you translate each and every word from English to Hindi or Punjabi or Gujarati or Kannada. No, it's not going to work. Same way German cannot work like this with English. We're going to understand the rules of German and speak, right? So wie ist Ihr Name is what is your name in German. So we have informal as well. We have seen the simpler one, that is formal one. Now we're going to see informal. Wie heißt du? Second one is wie ist dein Name? And finally, wer bist du? Again, wie heißt du? Wie ist dein Name? And finally, wer bist du? Okay, I think I've repeated enough. You might not remember them, but let's decode them. Okay, the first one is wie heißt du? So wie heißt du is, of course, you now remember that wie is how. In this case, what? Heißt is a conjugated version of our word which we were seeing earlier, heißen. Now if you're wondering what is this thing, this is beta and it starts as S or SZ in German. When we are understanding alphabet in the next chapter, you will understand what is this. It is pronounced as double S in German. So this is heißen, wie heißt du? It is conjugated version of heißen, which we saw earlier, wie heißen Sie? What is your name? Same here. Again, we just conjugated, put T here. Wie heißt du? Now I have written here informal, don't worry about this. This is informal version of you. There's a mistake here. So wie heißt du is informal way of asking what is your name. So du is informal you, not formal. Formal one was Sie, if you remember. We have seen that earlier. So wie heißt du? Second one was wie ist dein Name? Wie ist dein Name is apparently clear from the word Name, and dein must be how is your, and name. Name is already, I am not including this word because name is name. Name is name. Wie is how again. Ist is. And dein is informal your. Do you remember the word for it? S is the word for it. Remember from previous conversation, right? I'll keep testing you guys in between, okay? Nice. So again, wie ist dein Name is what is your name, or in German they call it how is your name, right? Wer bist du? This is the most, let's say, direct way to ask. Do not use it anywhere in Germany because you are new there. Only close friends do ask it, and literally it means who are you? Even in English, we don't ask people who are you. Sometimes we do that just for the knowledge sake. Just remember this. Wer is who, bist is are, and du is you, which is informal you. Right? So wer bist du is who are you. This is the third one of the informal. Good. Now we ask someone name. What if they ask us our name? So we have to reply as well, right? So we get replies like this. There's no informal or formal. You just answer normally. If you want to be informal, you just give your name directly, like Sam directly. If you want to go formal, ich heiße Sam. That is I. I'll tell you the difference between these, the translation later. Ich heiße Sam. Mein Name ist Sam. And ich bin Sam. These are three different ways of saying. Of course, in Sam, you change the word. So ich heiße Sam. Mein Name ist Sam. And ich bin Sam. These are the three ways of saying it. So the first one is heiße. Again, this word heiße is conjugated. We'll see it later. First of all, ich is I. Some part of German, they call it ich. But in let's say the standard German is called ich. So ich heiße, that is to be called, again conjugated. Remember the main verb is en. We just conjugate it according to the situation. It's heiße. Ich heiße Sam. And Sam, of course, is Sam. There's no German word for Sam. Mein Name is Sam. That's the second one. Mine is my. Name is name. This time I told you, right? Ist is. And finally, Sam. So the previous one was I'm called Sam. This one is my name is Sam. And finally, when we say ich bin Sam, it's I am Sam. So somebody when ask you, who are you? So you say, I am Sam. So ich bin Sam. So ich bin is am. Remember, bin is am. Ich is I, and you can add your name. This is the easiest version. Ich bin Sam. Ich bin XYZ. Your name then in that case. Okay, good. So when you greeted someone, also in the end of conversation, you say goodbyes, right? So we have farewells in that case. It's called Abschiede. This is a little bit higher level word. Do not worry about it. Do not study about it yet. Abschiede means farewells. That is goodbyes. The formal version is called, oh, this is a bigger word, right? Don't worry, I'll break it to you. You will remember this word forever. Auf Wiedersehen. The second one is combination of both, like Auf Wiedersehen. This is bye-bye in formal situation. Auf Wiedersehen is the formal situation. Here, auf kind of means off. Wieder means again. And sehen, where H is silent, if you notice here, we will see in our pronunciation class what are the rules. But here, remember, H is silent. We do not say sehen, we say sehen. So sehen is to see. Now you understand why this is goodbye. See you again in a way, right? Again to see. Auf, this is auf, see you again, which means auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen is bye bye. Right, good. Informal way are many. First one is choose. Generally this is used in a kind of informal situation. Also ciao. Ciao is used in English, French, Italian, all languages. You might have heard this word. In German as well, they say ciao. This is the least formal. This is in between. You can even say with professor, they generally say choose. And auf Wiedersehen is the most formal version, which was here, this one. Right. So auf Wiedersehen, choose, and ciao. Okay, 3 ways of saying goodbye based on formality and based on the formality. Now there's something called semi-formal. I created this for us, right? There's nothing like semi-formal in German, just to add new words to your dictionary. So when you want to tell someone, see you soon, see you tomorrow, and see you later, you can use these phrases. So bis bald is see you soon. Bis is till. Everywhere bis is till, remember that. And bald is soon. So how do you remember this word bald? So if you say that if I do not take care of my hair, I'll be bald soon. You can remember this way. So bald is soon, right? So bis bald means see you soon or till soon. Bis morgen. Now you might think I said guten Morgen means good morning. No, that was M capital. And also you might have noticed in some of the spellings I have written Name with N capital. It's because all nouns are capitalized in German. Right. Why didn't I write here M capital? Because if I make it capital, it becomes morning rather than till tomorrow. Okay. So bis morgen becomes till tomorrow. Bis morgen till tomorrow. Bis später. Bis später means till later. So this also sounds like, or let's say rhymes with later. So bis später. This is something new which we'll see in tomorrow's class or day after tomorrow. Do not miss that, okay? It's important. Bis später is till later. So these things also you can say with your friends with ciao, ciao, bis bald. So bye, see you soon. Or ciao, bis morgen if you're meeting for sure tomorrow. Bye, see you tomorrow. So these are the new phrases for that purpose. And this was your session 1. Don't leave yet. I'll tell you what we're going to do in next session. In next session, we're going to understand the alphabet, all of them. Okay, the pronunciation, examples, and everything we'll see in tomorrow's session. I hope you enjoyed these sessions. Thank you for listening and have a nice time. Bye-bye.